on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You know who it is by now,
Jimothy.
So ladies and gents, we are back with another deck profile, with a deck that I've been testing for the last week and a half, maybe something along those lines. But anyway, we are here with Altergeist, and what I will say is that Altergeist is an interesting deck, mainly because I've seen a few complaints about it's turning into this hybrid combo deck. There are better combo decks out there. Altergeist has lost its the way it was traditionally played. However, if you want to play Altergeist how it was played previously, you can just go ahead and do that. Like, you can put 16, 17 traps in there and just play the slow grind game that Altergeist is known for. Or you could try and venture off into some of the new stuff where it's a little bit more combo orientated and it ends on a bit of a stronger board. But without wasting any more time, ladies and gents, let's just get straight into it. So starting us off, things have not changed for Altergeist. If you've ever played this deck, you know that you always ran 3 Marionetta. This actually combos very nicely with Haunted Rock, spoiler alert, which you do now play in the deck just because of its ability to kind of like extend past a few hand traps, so to speak. But 3 Marionetta is normal, as well as the triple Malice. This is pivotal. If you see this in your opening hand along with like Pookery, you are feeling super nice because this is basically full combo. Anytime you see Malice, it's a good time, ladies and gents, I'm not gonna lie. Moving on, triple Pookery. Again, I'm trying to open this along with being able to either search Maliseek or obviously just open Maliseek in my opening hand. Pookery allows you to link someone from hand. Fantastic card. It can actually chain block, especially in your going first combo. You do want to be able to do that, so very strong card. I'm an advocate for playing it at 3. As well as the triple Multi-Faker, goes without saying. We all know what Multi-Faker does, ladies and gents. Multi-Faker is the reason that I'm not actually playing Nibiru in this list, because there are a few decks in the meta now, ladies and gents, that are just disrespecting Nibiru and just kind of like comboing off freely. So it's always a good shout to kind of like have Nibiru in your side deck just for those instances where players just kind of like play through decks and just kind of like play at their turn with no fear of Nibiru. But Multi-Faker does not allow you to do that, and we are playing 3 of him just because it's that pivotal. I am actually opting to play 2 of the new card, which is Altergeist Malwisp, which allows you to, on its add, whether it's added through a card effect, as long as it's not drawn, whether it's added from graveyard or from deck to hand, you can special summon it, and if it's special summoned or normal summoned, you can special summon a Altergeist monster from your graveyard straight to the field, but that monster's effect cannot be activated this turn. Now, there is a bit of an interesting ruling about this, and definitely let me know in the comment section below. But as I believe it, if the monster that this card special summons from the graveyard then gets sent to the graveyard, it becomes a different monster from the one that was special summoned. So if you do special summon your Maliseek and you haven't triggered Maliseek's search effect previously in that turn, you should be able to get the search off. Let me know in the comment section, ladies and gents. I have not been playing it like that, but when I was looking at a few rulings, it was ruled a couple of times that you could do that because it becomes a different card and once it hits the graveyard, the card that it summons. So definitely worth keeping in mind. This is what allows you to set up your combo, ladies and gents. Super duper card, and it also allows you to play a couple of tech options in your extra deck because this card does not lock you into anything, which is just super imperative. So yeah, double Malwisp. I'm also playing the double Silquitius. Now, I was actually considering just dropping this to 1, and I was testing it at 1 for 1 at one point, but I felt like if you get your first turn combo going, what you're searching off your Faker, like following turns, like you do want to be summoning your Silquitius. There are chances of you to be recycle this from your graveyard, get it back onto your field in certain instances. However, I kind of like having a 2, I'm not gonna lie. I did mess about with 1 for a bit. It wasn't too bad, but when I was messing about with it at 1, I was finding myself needing the second one. So I don't know, ladies and gents, this is a bit of a flexy spot. You can actually kind of like change the way that you kind of like build your deck, and it's the same with Malwisp as well. I was running Malwisp at 1, but I just kept opening it and it was frustrating me that I couldn't search it. So yeah. Also, I'm playing the 1 Altergeist Penetrator. This is just a dump off one of the new cards that we're playing, which I'll get to in a moment. And it also can get you a draw. It's good for time as well because you can just attack your opponent, draw a card in a battle phase, and then proceed to just do your combo main phase 2. And I'm also playing the one Altergeist Query. Again, this is a flex spot. You could potentially take this out. With the way that the boards that this deck sets up now, you potentially don't need this card. And this is probably a card that I didn't really actually summon it through all the testing that I've been doing. So I probably would take this out. But it's in there nonetheless because your Altergeist monsters, for the most part, are pretty squishy. They don't have the biggest attacks or defenses, so it's always good to kind of like be able to just wall up for from time to time. And it pairs great with Silquitius. So that's it for the Altergeist monsters, ladies and gents. I think it's like 19 monsters in total. Next, onto the hand traps. I'm only playing 5 in the main deck, 5 monster hand traps, and that is Triple Ash. Goes without saying, as well as the double droll. I took these drolls out of my other deck. I can't find the third one. I've looked so I know I've got loads of playsets of drolls somewhere, but I just can't find it. If I did have the third droll, I'd put it in and probably take out the Conquery. But yeah, that's the hand trap lineup. Yeah. Next, onto the spells. We're not playing too many, ladies and gents. We are playing the Triple Pot of Prosperity. This is essential, lady. I'm not even gonna lie. This is so essential in the deck now, because previously you used to use your extra deck as a little bit of fodder. You used to build it in a way where you probably had multiples of specific cards. Now, however, you kind of need more of your extra deck because it's more combo orientated. You find yourselves going through like 3, 4, 5 monsters in your turn 1 combo. So you definitely need a Pot of Prosperity, especially if you need to dig for like a Pukari, a Malusi, even a Marionetta in some instances. Definitely a strong card, as well as being able to see your side deck cards. I spoke about this on my most recent ban list. Like, this just provides every deck with just almost unlimited consistency, especially if you're a deck that kind of can afford the space in the extra deck to kind of like banish off Pot of Prosperity. It's just crazy. So yeah. And the final spell that I play is Triple Tactics Thrust. I am playing a few targets in the main deck. I'm also playing a few targets in the side deck, which I'll get to in a moment. So yeah, that is it for the spell cards. Next, onto the traps, which is what Altergeist is seemingly known for. This should be triple spoofing. I had 3. I think I lost one at locals, which was just wild. But yeah, triple spoofing. It's unsearchable, so you kind of want to see. It does trigger a lot of things. It can search your Malwisp. It can trigger Multi-Faker. It's just an all-round solid card, so you do want to max out on it because you can't search it. Double Protocol. Again, Protocol is just monster negate. This card is just silly. If you wanted to, ladies and gents, I didn't go through this route. You can play a load of floodgates with this deck and be able to just resolve your monsters underneath those floodgates. Skill drain, Dark Ruler no more, just a load of like crazy floodgates. This card just allows you to play, and it just says no to basically any kind of like effects that will tell your Altergeist monsters that they can't resolve. It's crazy. So yeah. Also playing the 1 manifestation. For the longest time I was playing this at 2. I decided to drop it to 1 just because I wanted to fit in some other cards, and it hasn't actually been too bad. Typically you're searching either of these in your first turn combo, and you end up with both of them on your field. So yeah, you typically only need the 1, especially with the double Silquitius. You can just add it back off Silquitius and just proceed to like trigger it again the next turn. The 1 Haunted Rock, again, this is just for combo. Just allows you to kind of like overextend and go into your some of your extra deck plays. It doesn't do anything else. It does negate traps, which is funny because obviously evenly matched is a thing. So definitely interesting one right there. As well as the 1 Altergeist Revitalization. This is one of the newer cards. It just allows you to revive a Altergeist Link monster. Doesn't have any other restrictions other than you can only revive a Link monster. Doesn't need to be equipped to it. So again, if you wanted to, you could cycle this off Silk and just continuously just reborn like your Prime Banshees, your Hex Tears, whatever you needed, ladies and gents. Especially your Adminias, which is a bit of a power card, which we'll get to. That's it for the Altergeist traps. On to some generic traps, and I'm only playing 6 generic traps in the main. In Infinite Impermanence, Imperm Faker is still a combo, it still resolves, it's still crazy, as well as Multi-Faker and Evenly Matched in the main. Now this deck struggles to go second, ladies and gents, hence the Prosperity, hence the main deck Evenly Matched. You need some tools to be able to just combat your opponent's boards. If you see this in line with Multi-Faker, or if you see both of them in line with Multi-Faker, you're feeling in a good position because you can clear a board as well as trigger your Multi-Faker to just start off your combo. So yeah, I think it's kind of like needed, to be honest. And that is it for the main deck, ladies and gents. 40 cards, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. Now, onto the extra deck. Triple Hextia, yeah, goes without saying. This is the heart and life of the deck. Yeah, just does everything you need. Attack boost is nice. It comes up a little bit more than you would think now, especially with Altergeist Memory Gun, which we'll get into. But yeah. Double Prime Banshee. Now, this is actually needed, ladies and gents. You typically go through one in your turn one combo just to get a few resources out of your deck. It also allows a little bit of recursion from your graveyard, so definitely a very strong card. Probably wouldn't play any more than 2, but I feel like these ratios were fine. You can banish one of the Prime Banshees as well as one of the Hextias off your Prosperity, and you'll still be completely fine because typically you only need one. But there's some instances where you get into a grind game and you need to resolve another one. If you get banished off a Bestial, for example, you need another one in your extra to be able to kind of like facilitate some plays, basically. The next card I'm looking at is Altergeist Memory Gun. This is your OTK button. Only play one. I typically don't banish it off Prosp, just because you get locked into Altergeist with a fair few effects, well, specifically Multi-Faker, and you need some kind of like OTK power, or if you come up against like a Towers monsters and you can only beat it by battle, this is the card that does it. Tributes another Altergeist monster to gain its attack, and it can attack multiple times, pop cards on the field. Yeah, this card's crazy. Very, very nice. As well as the newest addition to the extra deck, it is Altergeist Adminia. Snatch Steal, sets Altergeist card from deck. Just crazy card. 3000 attack. So Altergeist are no longer just these little squishy monsters when you're messing around with Hextia and monsters that Hextia points to. You've actually just got big boss monsters in your extra deck now, which is really, really nice. As well as being able to kind of like add a layer of consistency to the deck. So Adminia is nice. Do play him at 2. Again, another Prosp target. On to the non-engine links, we are playing one Artemis. She's literally, excuse me, she's literally just because there's some of the Altergeist monsters that are higher than level like 1, so you just need to get them off the field in any instance, and she helps you to do that. One Link Rebo, absolutely fantastic. One Relinquish Anima. People have stopped playing around this card. I've taken just like beat sticks upon beat sticks. It's crazy. So yeah, these are just nice. As well as the one Nightmare Phoenix, just for some pesky back row removal. One Selene, as well as the one Access Code Talker. I didn't find myself going into this too much, as well as this. So this is Prosp food, to be honest. It could potentially be anything else. If you really need to OTK your opponent, you can probably do it through Memory Gun, but there are going to be instances when you go in second where you need Access Code Talker, hence why I've decided to put him in there. And the final card, ladies and gents, is just the one Herald of the Arc Light. This is an actual spicy tech because you can actually make it off like your Malwisp and your Maliseek. So Malwisp is a level 3 tuner, as well as Maliseek being a level 1. You can go straight into a Herald of the Arc Light. Not the most optimal plays, but it does allow you to trigger the Maliseek because it's sent from field to grave, and then just do a whole load of like Altergeist plays from there. But yeah, Herald of the Arc Light, nice little Omni-Negate right there. Can force a battle phase in some instances because of its pseudo Macrocosmos effect. So yeah. And that is it for the main deck. And very, very quickly, ladies and gents, let's just go over these side decks. So in my side, this is obviously personal preference. You can go the OG Altergeist route with the triple Solemn Strike as well as the triple Judgment. People are going to start siding in back row. I got obliterated by Cosmic Cyclone a couple of games, so the Judgment is definitely needed. As well as along with the triple D barrier. These are all your going first options specifically. And to be honest, this deck doesn't do too bad going first. Like, it can be a little bit bricky at times, and if your normal summon gets stuck, you're still faced with the same problems that Altergeist have been faced with before. But with some of these cards, it allows it to just mitigate that, and you can actually kind of like survive a battle phase and be able to kind of like do some stuff. Next, onto some of the spells in the side deck. We are playing double secret village of the spellcasters, as well as the one terraforming, the second thrust, the Harpy's the lightning storm, as well as the Harpy's feather duster. Now obviously I got a thrust in the main, and this thrust allows you to search obviously the terraforming and then any of these two, as well as your D barrier, your infinite impermanence, your evenly matched, just literally anything, ladies and gents. But I feel like it's a bit of a risky one to go first, because if your opponent doesn't open up any hand traps, you just got a dead card in your hand. So thrust is a little bit of a tricky one, but that's the side deck to say the least. And all in all, ladies and gents, that is Altergeist. I've tested it a few times. I feel like it's missing just one more extender. I know this sounds a little bit rich because I've got a whole load of support, but there's been a few times when my normal summon's been stopped and I haven't been able to dig for any other pieces, and I'm just like stuck with like a Link Karibo on board and maybe like one, maybe two back row, and it's just not optimal, ladies and gents. It does put out a crazy board going first, and potentially if you get a bit of time, I'll show you a few combos that I've learned with Altergeist in another video. But yeah, it's just missing something, just something more, just to push it over the edge, just that little bit more, because as a trap deck with its roots in traps, and it's going to be setting traps, it's still a little bit slower than some of the meta. It's a lot faster than it was. It can set up a lot more interaction going first, but it still does suffer from its normal summon, which is probably a weakness of the deck that's holding it back. But yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, we find ourselves at the end of another video. If you did like this content, you know what to do by now. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, all of that beautiful good stuff, and I will definitely see you guys on the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.